Hey y'all, this is Tiffany, David's wife. I wanted to share a little backstory of this video, Tarantula Hawk versus Tarantula, and the reason for making it. Because if you know my husband, you know that he doesn't just kill anything. He always tells me it has a purpose, which I have yet to see with a tarantula. So I'm actually curious myself to know what good can come from a tarantula. I know there has to be someone out there that can relate to me with what I'm about to tell you. I have a couple brothers, one older and one younger. I won't mention any names, Justin or Steven, that would torment me with these giant furry creatures. Everyone has a few things that they are terrified of, right? Well, a tarantula is definitely one of mine. So when I saw this crazy looking bug running across our yard, I asked my husband what it was, and of course he told me a tarantula hawk. And with it having tarantula as part of its name, I had to know what its purpose was. I was curious. I will let him do all the explaining of what a tarantula hawk does and its purposes, and the same thing for a tarantula. Once I found out what a tarantula hawk does, I wasn't taking no for an answer. He had to prove to me that what he was saying was true. And I mean, where were these T-hawks when my brothers were tormenting me with their tarantulas? Anyway, I hope you enjoy our video and his knowledge of these creatures. Thanks for watching.
Hey guys, one of the things that I want to include on our channel here at Hill Life Homestead is the fascinating things that we have with our local wildlife. You know, that could be anything from the big, the deer, the turkeys, all the way down to the little bitty creepies and crawlies. And on the episode you guys are watching, this actually happened last fall. We filmed a tarantula hawk and a tarantula doing one of their annual battles that they do. First of all, just a little bit of information about the main characters. The tarantula is the first one. He's a large hairy spider. Everybody has seen these. The variety we have here in Arkansas is Arkansas chocolate tarantula. It's the largest spider in Arkansas. They get about the size of your hand. They actually live a long time for a spider, or an insect in general. The males live about 10 years and the females can live up to 20 years. For the most part, they live underground in burrows, and they don't really hunt with a web per se, like an orb weaver or the big yellow garden spiders that you see. And then they don't stalk their prey like wolf spiders and things. They build a little burrow and put a little bit of webs kind of outside that burrow, and then they sit back and wait for something to, touch the webs and kind of give them a warning that something's out there, and then they come out of the burrow and attack all at once. And then every year in the fall, somewhere between August and October here in Arkansas, the males will actually leave the burrows and then start, seeking females to mate. So when you're out driving these old country roads in the evenings in Arkansas toward the fall, that's when you start seeing these spiders crossing the road. And it's an experience for people that's never seen them before, as you'll see people pull over on the side of the road taking pictures of them and things. The other character in this age-old battle is the tarantula hawk. It's a large blue wasp with orange wings. They're about 2 inches long, the wasp altogether. The adults are actually nectivores, which mean they live off flower nectar. They don't actually eat the tarantula. So what happens is when it comes time, the males will actually the male wasp will set up on top of, they call it hilltopping. They'll set up on top of a flower or a tall plant and watch for the females to come by, and then they'll mate with the females. Once the mating has occurred, then the female will start looking for a tarantula. So it's only the female tarantula hawks that hunt the tarantulas. So the way she hunts down the victim is she either spots one, traveling along, or she will go out hunting one and find one in a burrow, and she'll purposely hit the tripwires or the webs, if you will, and try to entice that spider out. So once the spider's either triggered to come out of the burrow, or the tarantula hawk finds one, a male looking for a female, And if you think about it, the tarantula hawk's quite a bit smaller than the tarantula. You think a tarantula about the size of your hand, meeting this little tarantula hawk, which is about 2 inches long. It's a pretty formidable foe for this tarantula hawk. But so what happens is once they come together, the little tarantula hawk will start circling the tarantula, buzzing her wings. And she'll eventually circle in close enough to touch the legs of the tarantula. And the tarantula's primary defense is to, set back on his hind legs and raise up in a defensive manner. And this usually works well for the tarantula, as it shows his fangs and shows that he's serious, and also puts him in position to strike. But the tarantula hawk knows this is going to happen, and what she does when the male tarantula raises up in that defensive posture, what he does, or what the tarantula hawk will do, is actually turn over on her back, crawl underneath the spider, and deliver a sting kind of in between his legs. And she'll do this over and over until the spider is subdued. And what the venom from the tarantula hawk does is it paralyzes that tarantula. So at some point he is paralyzed to the point where he is incapable of moving, and the tarantula hawk will then drag the tarantula back to the burrow where she can, or not to the burrow, back to the nest. Once in the nest, the tarantula hawk will lay a single egg in the abdomen of the tarantula, just one larvae. The larvae will hatch, or she'll lay the egg and then cover the entrance back up where the spider can't get out or nothing can get down there with him. Once the larva hatches, the larvae that will then basically eat the living spider, saving the organs and everything for the end, and this to keep the spider alive as long as possible. About 2 to 3 weeks, that larvae will pupate into another spider, into another tarantula hawk, and then the next year the cycle repeats itself, and it's an annual occurrence here in the fall of Arkansas, and it's a pretty scary thing as you're seeing in the video. You just walk up on this thing, but it's really, you don't have anything to worry about the wasps. They do have the second most painful sting, in the insect world. The only thing that stings that's supposed to be worse and more painful is the bullet ant. But anyways, they're not very aggressive, and stings on humans are actually very rare. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and we'll catch you next time here on Hill Life Homestead. Thanks for watching.
Stop, David. I'm not kidding.